L'hôpital.
L'hôpital.
Le supermarché.
Le supermarket. Mon père travaille.
La pharmacie.
La pharmacie. Pharmacie.
La station de métro.
Subway station. Head noun first in French. Station. Anything ending in ION is feminine.
Je suis dans la pharmacie.
Je suis dans la pharmacie. I'm in the pharmacy.
Le cinéma est ouvert.
Le cinéma est ouvert. Movie theater is open. We get the word overt from this French adjective. Je suis à la station de métro Concorde. Fromage. Tu vas au supermarché ou à la pharmacie? À la pharmacie, c'est ouvert. To the pharmacy, it is open.
Si.
Si will be
Si.
syllable. Supermarché est ouvert. Oui, il est ouvert.
Où.
Will be always spelled OU.
Où.
Le restaurant est ouvert. Is the restaurant open? Oui, non, il est ouvert demain. It's open tomorrow.
Où est l'hôpital?
Où est l'hôpital? Where is the hospital? The old S there, deleted for the P in hospital in French. A French supermarket will put the head noun first. Un supermarché français. See the tail. Asked it. I'm going to the subway station. Je vais à la station du métro. Cool. So welcome back to Lango Institute. I'm your verb ally. We're doing a bit of French to start with this evening. We are a language school in Dallas, Texas, and we offer on-site and online English, Korean, Spanish, Chinese, French, German, Japanese, Portuguese, and Italian. On this Twitch channel, I am learning everything that Duolingo teaches, and occasionally a little bit more. Oh, and here are some of our book covers. These are our recent language-specific notebooks, Lango Notes. You can get them on Amazon or our website, langoinstitute.com. We've also got a few more fun joke books for learners of Korean that we put out last year. Let's keep on trucking here. Got to cover some ground. Le
vélo. Le vélo.
Vert.
Vert.
Un vélo vert.
Un vélo vert. Noun first, adjective next. So it's a green bike. The plant, la plante, feminine.
La plante.
La ville.
La ville.
Ville.
La plante.
Les vélos.
Les, plural, vélo. The noun, you can't really hear the difference. That is plural versus singular, but you can hear it on the article.
Une voiture verte.
Une voiture verte, feminine. A green car. This URE ending is also exclusively feminine or nearly so. So ion and ur are good things to look out for gender. Some of them you just have to memorize, but there's a few patterns.
Une ville française.
French city. Une ville, noun first. Adjective follows, française. And that's true most of the time. There's a few adjectives that will go before the noun, like bon, good, and grand, big. C'est ta maison? Is it your house? Oui, ma maison est verte. Yes, my house is green.
Ville.
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 On a deep level, this is a two-syllable word. That final letter E is often dropped, though it is still heard when you sing. Tu as un vélo? Do you have a bike? Oui, il est vert. Yes, it's green.
K,
K will be this.
K.
The U is silent after Q. Il de la salade. Okay, he eats green salad. A French city, une ville française. Because ville is feminine, the word for city, the adjective will match. We say it agrees. Une plante. Voilà. Five is cinq.
5.
Quatre.
4, 4. L'aéroport est fermé.
The airport is closed.
Je vais au café.
Je vais au café. I'm going to the café.
Le café français.
French café. Le café français. Le.
Marie va à Paris aujourd'hui.
Marie is going to Paris today. Aujourd'hui. Today. She's going to Paris today.
O,
E will be spelled A-U,
O.
among other spellings. Le café est fermé aujourd'hui. Is the cafe closed today? Non, il est ouvert. No, it's open.
D'huile,
Meaning
D'huile.
but it's there in the word today, spelled this way. H is always silent. Le café est fermé ou ouvert? Masculine.
5 voitures.
5 voitures, 5 cars.
5 voitures.
All right. If it's the word for 5 is at the end of the phrase, we'll hear that k sound, but not if a noun follows.
5 voitures.
5 voitures. Well, maybe if it had an initial vowel. Nous voulons une pour 4 personnes. A stoop makes no sense. Serve is a bit better, but a table is a good choice. Une table pour 4 personnes.
5 pharmacies.
5 pharmacies. 5 pharmacies. Here, English and French spelling for the noun coincide. So the sounds are different. The store, le magasin, is closed today. Est fermé. E for the participle, just one letter there after M if it's masculine, which this is. Aujourd'hui. Au jour de apostrophe. Marie is going to Paris today. Marie va is the right verb form. À Paris. Aujourd'hui. Wrong button. Marie va à Paris aujourd'hui. Le Japon.
Le Japon.
Masculine place name. Le Mexique.
Le Japon. Le Mexique.
J'aime le Mexique.
We don't say the Mexico, it's just Mexico.
Le Brésil.
Brazil.
Je visite le Brésil.
Visiting Brazil.
Je visite Paris.
Visiting Paris. Je visite Paris.
C'est un pays.
It's a country. Salut Marc, tu vas à Rio? Tu vas à Rio? Are you going to Rio? Oui, j'aime le Brésil. Yes, I love Brazil.
J'aime le Japon.
I love Japan. Tu habites à Tokyo? Oui, j'aime le Japon. Le Japon.
Pays.
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 2 syllables. Country.
Je visite la France.
So we're seeing a lot of country names with definite articles in French. I'm visiting France. Rarely in English. We used to say the Ukraine. Nowadays, just Ukraine. The United States.
Ja.
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 C'est mon pays.
C'est mon pays. It's my country. Brazil is your country. Le Brésil, cute, est ton pays. I like Mexico. J'aime le cute Mexique. Le Mexique. Oh, no accent. J'aime le Mexique. Also the A sound. Because X is a double consonant. Affects the vowel that way.
Je voyage beaucoup.
I travel a lot.
Nous visitons Paris.
We visit Paris.
Nous visitons le Mexique.
Nous visitons le Mexique.
Tu voyages beaucoup?
To travel a lot. Now the French verb travailler looks like travel and is related to it, but the meaning is work. Voyage.
J'aime les vacances.
Les vacances. I like vacations.
Les vacances.
Les vacances.
Elles vont au Brésil.
That NCE is a common feminine ending too. Elles vont au Brésil. They go to Brazil. Could be go to or are going to. Pierre travaille beaucoup, il veut des vacances. He works a lot, he wants vacations.
Nous visitons Berlin.
We visit Berlin. Tes parents vont où demain? Vont où? I suppose we could hear the T. Where are your parents going tomorrow? Ils vont en Angleterre. They're going to England.
Je voyage avec mon frère.
Travel with my brother. Je voyage avec mon frère.
On
is nasal.
Je voyage avec ma mère.
Travel with my mother. Je voyage avec ma mère. They're going to Mexico. Ils vont. And now we get a nice fusion. A preposition plus le will become au. Mexique. Do you travel a lot? Tu voyages beaucoup. Les États-Unis.
Les États-Unis.
J'aime voyager.
To travel.
Paul aime voyager. Paul aime voyager.
Likes to travel. This infinitive ending spelled ER. There's no R sound, it's just an E because they contract. We like chocolate. Nous aimons. In French, we need some kind of article. Le chocolat. We can't just say chocolat.
Elle visite le Brésil.
She visits Brazil.
Tu visites Paris?
Are you visiting? Paris. Salut Marc, tu es à New York? Oui, je visite les États-Unis avec ma femme. Yes, I'm visiting the US with my wife.
Je vais au musée.
I go to the museum. All right, here's one where double E, where the first is accented, is masculine. Generally, that's a sign of feminine gender. This word comes from Greek, so it's a different story.
Il aime les musées.
Il aime les musées. He likes, we could say the museums, but we can leave off an article in English. Bonjour Marie, je suis à Paris. Tu visites la France? Are you visiting France?
Les États.
Les États.
Les États.
That could be plural of a Greek letter. Z, tu. Double S is always going to be a voiceless S sound. Le garçon visite le musée avec son professeur. Boy visits museum with his professor.
États-Unis.
États-Unis.
Tu visites New York?
Are you? Tu vas à Cancun avec ton mari? Cancun? Are you going there with your husband? Oui, nous aimons voyager au Mexique. We like to travel to Mexico. Les États. The letter E there in the country name, underline has an acute, but on a capital it's often dropped. Unis. Les États-Unis. There, you can write it with a little acute sign. Either in chat or on Discord. He likes museums. Il aime les musées. Et... Cool. La plage.
La plage.
The beach. Playa.
Nous voyageons avec Paul.
We travel with. Avec is with. Preposition. Paul.
Nous voyageons avec Marie.
We travel with Mary. Nous voyageons avec Marie.
Il voyage.
They travel.
Elle voyage avec Paul.
She travels with Paul.
Elle voyage avec Alice.
Elle voyage avec Alice.
Elle va aux États-Unis.
She goes to the US. Hélène voyage demain. Is Helen traveling tomorrow? Oui, elle va aux États-Unis. Yes, she's going to the US. Tu vas à la plage pour les vacances. Are you going to the beach for your vacation?
La plage.
The beach. Tu parles bien anglais. Tu vas en Angleterre? You speak English well. Are you going to England? Non, je vais aux États-Unis. I'm going to the US.
Jo. Jo.
This is the only one that'll do GE together for je. Otherwise, it'd be a hard G in 2 and 3, and so, I mean, a velar, g. And here, 2 syllables, geno.
Nous voyageons beaucoup.
So I hear a lot of Americans say beaucoup, but it's actually beaucoup, a great amount, a lot. Travel a lot.
Au.
O will be
Au.
to the plural masculine. They travel a lot. Ils voyagent beaucoup. She's traveling with Paul. Elle voyage avec Paul. Where does this avec come from anyway? Let's give it a little tick. Apud hoque. A Frankish alteration consisting of apud with near close to, with hoc this, and que, which means and. First used as a replacement for Latin cum in Merovingian and Carolingian Frankish documents, gradually supplanted Old French ut from apud, or from dot. Cognate with Picard, avuc, Norman avec, Wallon avou, and more. More distantly, with Franco-Provençal abois. How cool. Apud hoque. With this. So a fusion of 3 words in that case. Well, que, not quite a word. 3 elements. Le château.
Le château.
That S of castle was originally there, got eroded away in the history.
Le Japon.
We spell
Le château.
circumflex above the A. It's a sort of memory, the ghost of an S. L'église.
L'église. Un château.
Castle.
Elle aime Paris.
We've lost the T in English. That's preserved in French. Castellum from Latin. She likes Paris.
Les églises de Paris.
The churches of Paris. The judgment of Paris. Charlotte habite à Paris. Does Charlotte live in Paris? Oui, elle aime la France. Yes, she likes France. Okay.
Ils veulent une voiture.
They want a car.
Il va aux toilettes. Ils veulent une pizza.
Ils veulent. Okay, that's plural. It would be veut in the singular. Ils veulent. It's just the ending of the verb. It tells me the number.
Ils veulent une pizza.
Une feminine pizza. Lost a letter there. Tes parents vont au café. Are your parents going to the cafe? Oui, ils veulent un thé et un dessert. They want a tea and a dessert.
Eau.
Eau will be.
Eau.
Ta mère visite le Louvre. Oui, elle aime les musées. Yes, she likes museums. Is she visiting the Louvre? The Louvre. Je visite l'église et le château. This thing makes the best sense.
Veulent.
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 She's going to the restroom. Elle va. Plural.
Elle va aux toilettes.
Howdy. He's going.
Il
Va.
va aux toilettes.
I'm going to do Chinese to brush up.
Bao.
No. Satiated. Satiety. There's an interesting word that I've heard pronounced two ways. Satiety or satiety. Estoy. No, not estoy. Suis. You need to pronounce je suis bien. Merci. Je suis bien doesn't. I think we would say ça va bien. Satiety. Satiety. Okay, sounds good.
真
To be true. 宝
宝，她真漂亮。
她真漂亮。She's truly, really pretty.
这个西瓜真好吃。
这个西瓜真好吃。It's watermelon. First, yeah, I think lately two and then maybe a chaser of Esperanto or Yiddish is my preference, but I'm always open to suggestions. Let me know if you have a hankering for anything else. Yeah, let's do a bit more French. I thought we could make that the focus today. This watermelon 真好吃 is really tasty. 真 Switch around between many. Yeah, let's not do too many, I think. It's to be a bit scattered. By the way, do you know the full form of this bao? Satiated. This number two, I mean. Let's zoom in there. Here's the simplified. What is this on the left is a modern abbreviation of a specific thing. Don't know if we've talked about it or if we have, whether we have lately. Let's review this one's fei.
肺
Meaning fee. Bao.
饱
Satiated. Wan.
完
Complete.
真
1, 2, 3, 4. We've got all four tones represented. Yes, that's the one. Good. So with that 十字旁, the eating radical, they've just changed it into these three strokes. That's the one. I guess it'd be NN. So if this allows it, NNPRU. No. OIBRU, and then we simplify. Let's see what this tells us. NV. All right. Okay, let's try that. VPRU. Nope, also not.
他们都已经很饱了。
他们都已经很饱了。They're already quite full. Simplified left half reminds of knee. Yeah, that's right. That's essentially what it is. Very good. I never connected it with that. Very nice. So, without the ren, R. Oh, Adrian. Hey, didn't see you. Glad you spotted me. Adrian. Adrian.
以饱真完精。
我很饱，我想睡觉。
我很 HO maybe 饱 OIPRU 我很饱。
我很饱，我想睡觉。
我想睡觉。我想睡BUH J yes. It's a hard one. JTM would be the full one there. I'm actually awake. That's good. Here for the ride. Okay. Well, the main one I want to focus on today is French. So I hope it doesn't reset everything you've learned in Spanish to see that. 我想睡觉 is the one that always follows 睡. Oh, but we gotta simplify. Phooey. Alright, let's watch me do it all again. 我很饱 Nope. Yeah, that's right. 我很饱 OIPRU Me encanta escuchar. Ustedes trabajando. Muy bien. 很饱我想 HQI 想 DUP 睡 BUHJ boom 觉睡觉 Now we're going to say simplify boom真
以
means already
饱
精 many meanings there could be a literary classic to undergo
完
complete
我觉得北京菜很好吃。
我觉得北京菜很好吃。Levi, let me give you a little bit to think about the syntax here. What's the subject? 我觉得北京菜很好吃。Actually, I might even say, what are the subjects? Kind of more than one. Use my Spanish skills at a Mexican restaurant. Buenísimo. 我觉得北京菜 I think dishes, Beijing food is tasty.
我妈妈做的蛋糕很好吃。
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 Cake my mom made 很好吃 is tasty. 我北京菜 I agree, yeah. Those are the subjects. We've got a sentence within a sentence there. The cake my mom made is tasty. 很好吃。
我们吃了10碗牛肉面，真饱。
我们吃了10碗牛肉面，真饱。We've eaten. I like that the Chinese course is not just restricted to present tense. Eaten 吃了 10 bowls of 10碗牛肉面 beef noodles and are very full. Cool. We are so full. I'm glad it accepted it. There's a lot of ways you could express that in English. Getting more and more flexible, I think, recognizing and accepting them. Allons-y. Retour au français. At home is our next chapter. Oh, for your benefit, if you're still there, Adrian, let's think about Franco-Spanish cognates. That means words of the same origin and how they have diverged. The object is 北京菜很好吃 hospital. Oh, there we go. Yeah, very nice. I didn't see what you're responding to there. Sort of, Levi, except I wouldn't really call it an object because it's not really a noun. It's sort of nominalized, I suppose, but maybe complement would be better term there. It completes the idea of 觉得, which means think or feel, exactly. How about for arbre? What have we got in Espanol? By the way, look how in French, or rather Spanish, we have the sequence OSP, and in French we get O. We get a contraction of that, where the S has become deleted. That's a regular change in French. Isn't it? L'hôpital. Well, no, the H is written, it's just not sounded. L'hôpital, if I get your question. What's the cognate of arbre? Un arbre. Masculine, feminine? If I say, not Turkish, I forget the gender of, yes, arbol, good. So we see L and R sort of interchanging there. The R is original. A tree, that'll tell me the gender. Un arbre, masculine. Good.
L'arbre.
Il est gentil.
Il est gentil. Gente is a cognate, but it's not an adjective. He is kind, I guess. Il, of course, equals el. And e, spelled E-S-T-S. So many, many words, not just nouns and adjectives, but verbs, pronouns, words of all classes can be cognates. Beaucoup, Julien. Merci beaucoup makes more sense. C'est très gentil. We have a cognate of merci in merced, meaning grace. That's right. The little accent circonflexe very often shows the loss of the S. Merci with merced. Beaucoup. The beau is not there in Spanish. Très is related to the trans prefix. Anyway, thank you, Julien. Thanks very much, Julien. That's very nice.
Ils sont gentils.
Ils sont. Il has lost that second syllable. Ellos. Sont. Some. There. Nice.
Le voisin.
Le voisin. What's the cognate here? Neighbor. I forget myself exactly what it is. Something like vecino. Does this mean neighbor? There it is. Vecino. Alright, so the e here, a long a sound, French became wa.
Ton voisin est gentil?
Ton voisin est gentil. Good, that's what we're here for. It's our reason for being.
Il y a un chien.
Il y a un chien. Now this, oh, you know what? I never thought about this. The il, the pronoun, is just required because a sentence needs a subject in French, needs one to be expressed. And the I, meaning there, il y a, these two components are fused in Spanish, hay. The a is the verb to have, which the a of Spanish reflects also, and I is I. So just the same words, different order. Il y a un chien. There's a dog. Spanish has replaced that canine word with perro.
Un arbre, deux arbres.
Deux arbres. It's a really silly voice they've found here. One tree or two trees. But let's look at the correspondences. Un matches un, uno. And so u matches o. Deux matches dos.
J'aime les arbres.
I like the trees. Aime, amo. J'aime les arbres. Marc, ta maison est super. Your house is great. Merci. Et il y a un grand jardin. Jardin, you might recognize if you learned this word. I think it's the same spelling, jardín. Il y a un grand, grande. Nothing too fancy there, although we've nasalized it in French. Thanks, there's a big yard.
Il y a.
Il y a.
Il y a.
A little artificial to say it that slowly. Il y a un chien dans le jardin. Dans, dentro we have in Spanish, right? Meaning in or inside. Did I imagine it? Adverb, inside, yeah. That one matches dans, more or less. Tu aimes ta petite ville? Do you like your little city? Like your little city. Oui, il y a une boulangerie et un supermarché. Yes, there's what's a boulangerie? And a supermarket. Bakery. Boulangerie. Let's look up the origin of that one. Boulangerie. Boulanger. Boulank. Of Germanic origin. Bolla and ink. So it's a balling. That's how. Jardin. Very nice. Avec accent aigu. Merci beaucoup. Jardin.
Mon voisin est gentil.
Jardin. Mon voisin est gentil. Mi vecino. Vecino? I've forgotten already. Vecino with. Oh, I didn't enter it in the chat. My neighbor is kind. Neighbor is
Gentil.
gentil.
Gentille.
Ah, 3 syllables.
Mes voisins sont gentils.
Mes voisins sont gentils. My neighbors are kind. Mes voisins sont gentils. Tes voisins sont. Gotta agree, plural. With plural. No difference in sound though.
Gentil. Gentil.
Les livres.
Libros. Jardín. Excellent. So the B, livre, libro. And they're different letters. The E and the O, E of French and the O of Spanish, but they are very regular in corresponding in masculine words. Well, in any way. No, let's see. Okay. The E is preserved in French because it's after that cluster, V and R together. Libro. Likes to draw. Cow is una vaca, I believe. I expect it'll be VACA. Livre, libros. Yeah, good. I'll let you do that one spot. Oh, cinq. We've got two. We have a nice cognate. Una vaca. Cinq. Cinq you.
La vache.
Vache. So the ka to sh is regular too, as in chateau. And what's another? Le chat, gato. Well, there's becoming g in Spanish.
Mes livres sont dans le jardin.
Les livres sont dans le jardin. Boulangerie. Boule. There it is. Germanic word. My books are in the garden.
Alice est très gentille.
Alice is very kind, feminine.
Julia et Marie sont voisines.
Voisine, also feminine, feminine plural. Julia. E, of course, matches. E, which can also be in some cases, a little closer to the French. Julia and Marie are neighbors.
Il y a une vache dans le jardin.
Il y a, there has, une vache dans le jardin. There's a cow in the garden.
Mes sœurs sont gentilles.
Mes sœurs. Okay, what is it in... Oh, now we don't have a related word that I know of. For sœur, sister, in Spanish. English sister is related to sœur, quite distantly. Sisters are kind.
Ma voisine est gentille.
Ma voisine est gentille. My neighbor, who is female, is kind.
Elle est gentille.
She's kind. Elle est gentille. We get it. Tu aimes tes voisines? Do you like your female neighbors? Oui, elles sont gentilles. Perfect match. Ma voisine Alice est très gentille. Tes voisines ont une maison à la plage. There's a nice one. Adrian, what do we have for plage in Spanish? Tes voisines ont une maison à la plage. Playa, exactly. That's the one. Oui, no. C'est un petit appartement. Do they have a house at the beach? No, it's a small apartment. That does make sense.
Gentille.
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 3 syllables. So we will hear that final E of the spelling after a double consonant, or after more than one. Whether it's the same one twice or a cluster of different consonants. Cédric veut, we're going to have some infinitive. 3 livres.
Livre.
He wants to read 3 books. Aujourd'hui, today. Ah. So the au jour, of course, upon the day, and de is the preposition. But what's the cousin of this lui component? Meaning today. It doesn't exist anymore as an independent word in French, but Spanish, not ahora, hoy, that's the one. So in the spelling, they're still quite close. The H is dropped in both languages, but the diphthong has shifted in French a bit.
Il y a une vache dans la maison.
Il y a une vache dans la maison. There's a cow in the house. We have the word menaje in Spanish. Anyway, mansion is related to house. Mensaje. That seems like it. Gracias. Misatikum, message. Actually, no. Mensaje is not related to the house word. Mansion, though, as I mentioned. As I mentioned, the mansion. Mansio. Let's see. Sometimes it lists the descendants. Mansión. Maison, also there. Not too well known to me. Message. My sisters, alright. Mes sœurs, we need a special character. Plural. They are, sont, and then feminine plural. Gentille. There's a cow in the house. Il, y a une vache dans la maison. Both feminine nouns. Yeah, the mensaje is message, no connection to the house word. Mansion, you mean the Spanish word mansión? Let's look that up in a minute. This one means mansion, and it's just reborrowed from Latin. Mans, with a con s. Non sé. No sé. Right. Blanc. Alright. Okay. Livre. That's interesting. Livre, we preserve that final vowel, but blanc, blanco. Even though it's a cluster, or it was a cluster, N and a K sound. La mención, gracias. That final vowel is just dropped in French. Maybe this may tell us about the order of changes. Maybe that the nasalization happened, and then since K was no longer part of a cluster, you could drop the vowel. That's interesting. I'd never noticed
Blanc.
that. La fenêtre. Okay, la porte, though, we have here. What does this correspond to in Spanish? La porte. Here's a regular correspondence. Blanco is there. Good. So here we see Spanish final O, masculine, corresponding to French 0, nothing. That's one possible correspondence. We saw another one with livre in the book. Libro, livre. Porte, Levi, can you tell us what he is? The Spanish cognative porte for door.
Blanc.
La porte. Vert et blanc.
Vert. That's interesting. Vert, of course, has one too in Spanish. And white. The window, la fenêtre.
La fenêtre.
Fenestra. There we see the ghost of an S in the circumflex again.
La voiture est blanche.
La voiture est blanche. Because it was blanca at an earlier stage, ca regularly became ch. The car is white. Puerto, not quite, that is a port. Puerta. And this o and we is a regular correspondence. Not the only one regarding French o. There's a rule for that. El carro es blanco, es verdad.
Une porte blanche.
Porte blanche, a white door. Une porte blanche.
J'ouvre le livre.
J'ouvre. Okay, I think ouvrir is going to be related to abrir. Maybe not. To open. Will be quite a distance in the yeah. Vulgar Latin aprire, for classical Latin aperire. This one kept the a in Spanish, changing in French, a little unpredictably. So it's a weird correspondence. Ouvre and Abro, right? Abrir, yo abro. El libro. Abrir, yeah. So a to u, pretty rare, I think. Can't think of another.
Tu ouvres la fenêtre?
Tu ouvres la fenêtre. Are you opening the window?
Tu ouvres la porte de la voiture.
Tu ouvres la porte de la voiture. We gotta listen to the articles to tell the number in French. Number of the noun. Ta voiture, c'est la voiture verte? Is your car the green one? Non, ma voiture est blanche. Makes perfect sense. Un croissant, excellent. Croissant or an orange. Un croissant means crescent. Ou une orange. Zucchero e zucchero verde.
Être.
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 Papa, la voisine est ici. Tu ouvres la porte, elle est gentille. C'est fermé. Tu ouvres la porte, s'il te plaît. Interesting. Even though porte is female, here we're not agreeing yet, maybe because it hasn't been mentioned. Ce is
Ce.
just
Ce.
general all-purpose pronoun, and it's neutral, so masculine.
J'ouvre la porte.
I open the door. J'ouvre la porte. Abro la puerta. Tu is tu. And it does kind of happen, especially in the Quebec dialect. We get a tu sound. The high vowel, very similar to what you have in Japanese. Abro la puerta. We can see the closeness of their grammatical structure in most of these.
J'ouvre la porte de la voiture.
These are simple sentences, but it's still quite instructive. There's still differences. Si. Así es. J'ouvre la porte de la voiture. Abra. Maybe the subjunctive would be like that. Abrir, I think, would be abre if it was the two command. J'ouvre la porte. I open the car door, the door of the car. So here in English, I'm using a compound, but Romance languages don't have this type of compound. Abra, abre. Let's find out. Abrir. I go to this Latin one. Gotta go to the citation form. Descendants. Spanish abrir. And let's see the inflection. Imperative. So the command abre, abri vos. Abre la puerta. Usted abra. There it would be if it was, yeah. Depends on the politeness we're showing. Tu, vos, usted. We get all of those first three vowels. Oh, nice. White cat. Un chat blanc. What has been the thing most different between Spanish and French? Are you addressing it to both of us or one of us in particular? There is one window. Il y a une fenêtre. This one used to have S, so it gets a roof. Voila. All right, covering a lot of ground in Chinese. Pleases me. Written with wa. Hungry.
渴
Thirsty.
饿
Let's do them all. 真
真
精
精
undergo 渴
渴饿谁在办公室？
谁在办公室 sounds very different. Shades. Who is in the office? 酒。
这杯茶很好喝。
这杯茶很好喝。Cup of tea is really tasty. 很 we can leave off.
渴。
我现在非常渴。
我现在非常渴。Really thirsty now.
我不饿，我很渴。
我不饿，我很渴。I'm not hungry, I'm thirsty.
可。
真。
真。
饿。
以。
精。
他很饱，所以吃的非常少。
他很饱，所以吃的非常少。She's full. 所以 means the reason. Well, let's see, how should we? That is the reason why, kind of. So we could say she's full. She's very full. So she's eating very little. She's not eating much. Okay.
完。
以。
以。
Ready.
渴。
Thirsty.
肺。饿。我今天没有吃饭，现在很饿。
我今天 Yep, 渴 and 喝 they share that phonetic component. Good.
我今天没有吃饭，现在很饿。
Good. I didn't eat today. No, I'm what? Let me just get the first few words. Get it started. 我今天 Okay.
我今天没有吃饭，现在很饿。
没有没 e pe no. 没 We can also input them phonetically. 今天没有吃饭。
我今天没有吃饭，现在很饿。
现在很饿 Very hungry. 现在很饿 And we will simplify.
不要喝酒。
Don't drink alcohol. Looks like it means I don't want to, but 不要 is often used prohibitively.
我的弟弟很渴，他要喝水。
我的弟弟很渴。My little brother is thirsty. 他要喝水。He wants to drink water.
我想喝一点酒。
我想喝一点酒。I want to drink some alcohol.
你不饿吗？
你不饿吗？ Aren't you hungry?
这是什么酒？真好喝。
What kind of alcohol is this? It's good alcohol. It's very 好喝，那酒。It's very tasty.
我觉得那里的咖啡最好喝。
我觉得那里的咖啡最好喝。And the coffee there is tastiest.
他因为生病了，所以吃的很少。
她因为生病了 because she's sick, 所以吃的很少。So she eats very little.
晚饭的菜真少。
晚饭的菜真少。 The food of dinner is very few. There is very little food at dinner. That makes sense.
他很饱，所以吃的非常少。
She is full, so she eats very little.
这是什么酒？真好喝。
What kind of alcohol is this? 真好喝. It's very tasty. And now for something completely different. At home. La chaise.
La chaise.
Do we have a Spanish relative? Silla is not relative. The room, la pièce.
La pièce.
Une chaise.
Une chaise. Je vais lire dans le jardin. I'm going to read in the garden. Très bien, il y a une chaise. Very well, there's a chair.
Les voitures blanches.
Los carros blancos.
Ma maison a 4 pièces.
Ma maison a 4 pièces. Chaise longue, exactement. The long chair. I think it's also related to cathedral. My house has 4 rooms.
Les tables blanches.
The white tables. Les tables blanches.
Nous ouvrons les fenêtres.
What's this? Abrimos. Abremos. Abrir would be abrimos. Nous, of course, nosotros. We open the windows.
Les chats blancs.
Les chats blancs.
Nous ouvrons les portes.
Nous ouvrons les portes.
Il y a un salon dans ma maison.
There is a living salon, living room in my house. Mon appartement a 4 pièces. Les petits chats blancs sont dans le jardin. Non, oui, ils sont amusants. That's a bit odd to me.
Ouvre.
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 Could be I open. Tu aimes le salon? Do you like the living room? Oui, il y a une grande fenêtre. We are opening the doors. Nous ouvrons, that's going to link, les portes. There is a living room here. Il y a un salon ici. La fleur. Okay, what's the relative here, Adrien or Levi? French fleur, c'est quoi?
La fleur.
Une fleur.
Il y a des chats et des chiens.
Il y a des chats et des chiens. Okay, des meaning some unspecified amount of them. So in English we'll just say cats. And of the dogs.
Il y a des chaises.
There are chairs. Il y a des chaises. In French, we can't just have anything without an article unless it's preceded by de in a compound-like phrase.
Ils ouvrent les portes.
They open the door.
Il y a 3 chaises pour 4 personnes.
Il y a 3 chaises. That's different. That's œuvre. Good question. Excellent. This ouvrir from vulgar Latin, operire, classical Latin, aperire. Œuvre is written with this ligature, means work. So can you guess what Latin word it's from, Levi? I guess the only difference for the first string of letters is that the E has merged with the O. Il y a trois chaises. There are 3 chairs. Para is pour in French. For 4 personnes.
Ils ouvrent les fenêtres.
Ils ouvrent les fenêtres.
Il ouvre le livre.
Il ouvre le livre. He opens the book. Tu es content de ton jardin? Does this content have a Spanish relative? Are you satisfied with your garden? Oui, il y a 3 arbres et des fleurs. Interesting. It is a bit like Arbeit. Good guess. There are cases where the initial L has been sawed off, I suppose. But no, not this case. Think of... let's see. What clue can I give you to the source of œuvre? A genre of musical theater from the same Latin source word. Mon père ouvre la porte. Contento. Content. Excellent. We have content in English.
La fleur.
La fleur.
Des.
De will be with an S.
Des.
Opera. Good. That's it. Opera. Operare. And the singular noun was opus. This has a Sanskrit cognate too. Opus. Short O. Operate, exactly. That's the one. That's where we get œuvre. There's also the word ouvrier. The different vowel initially means laborer. Day, like day laborer. And I think Spanish obrador from the same source. So obrador corresponds formally to operator, if that's correct. Tu aimes le salon dans l'appartement? Do you like the living room in the apartment? Oui, il y a 3 fenêtres. Makes good sense. There are 2 windows.
Elles ouvrent les fenêtres.
Elles ouvrent les fenêtres. They, feminine, open the windows femininely. He is opening the door. Il ouvre la porte. There are 3 rooms. Il y a, there has, 3 pièces. Have you read the Sanskrit cognate? Apas. Apaha. Food, why not?
L'œuf.
Ah. So, Adrian. French F equals what in Spanish for egg? Good. It's plural, huevos, and singular huevo. And the way I was taught French, apas, that's the one, was that when you pluralize this word egg, O-E-U-F-S, it could be ligature too, the S sort of cancels the F and you'd say although I think in modern French people have stopped doing that. So it was un œuf singular, les œufs plural. The breakfast, le petit déjeuner.
Le petit déjeuner.
Je mange un œuf.
Manger, I don't think has a relative in Spanish unless there's a word meaning chew. That was the original meaning, now it's just eat in French. I eat an egg.
Le matin.
Le matin. Does this one, I guess mañana might be related, although I don't quite see how. Let's look up matin for morning. Matitude. Margin in Irish, of course, is related. Matutinus. Matuta, goddess of morning. Huevos, jueves, yeah, kind of similar. Descendants, Spanish, matino. I don't know this one. Margin. Meaning morning. Okay, I've not seen this one before. Okay, synonym mañana, which comes from mane. From this Indo-European root, mech. Mañana. Yep, they look alike a little bit with that initial M, but they're unrelated words, it seems. Le matin. Matinee, we have in English, derived from this.
Nous prenons un thé.
Nous prenons, we take un thé. Having tea.
Tu manges un œuf?
Are you eating an egg? Tu manges un œuf? Un œuf. Note that the N is now sounded because it links to the following vowel initial word. Not just un, but un œuf. To chew. Masticar, mascar, morder. Thank you for looking that up. Let's see. Manger. I don't think any of those is quite the right corresponding form. May have just dropped out of Spanish.
Ce fromage est français.
Our word mandible, though, is connected to French manger. Ce fromage est français. This cheese, that cheese. This or that.
Ce.
Yeah, it's kind of both indeterminate for proximity. That cheese is French. Note that the adjective is not capitalized. Really, only English does that of the European languages.
Ils prennent un café.
Ils prennent, the third plural form. They are, oh, café, and it's not tea.
Ce matin.
Ce matin, this morning. Les filles mangent à l'école. All right, even though we have a vowel following, I don't think we're going
Mange.
to sound this T. We're not going to say mange à l'école, because a is the start of a new phrase. Are the girls eating at school? Do they eat at school? Oui, elles prennent un sandwich.
œuf, œuf,
Il prend le petit déjeuner.
Il prend le petit déjeuner. He has breakfast. Because one egg is enough. Yep. Breakfast. Aye. Où sont les enfants? So où looks nothing like donde. I think donde is a fusion of a couple words. Où, though, Spanish has this word ubicación for location, and the ubi is the source of French où. That's a Latin word for where. Où sont les enfants? Ils prennent le petit déjeuner. Not quite directly an answer where, but it works better than my mother is working this morning. Ce matin, je prends un café dans le parc.
Nous prenons le petit déjeuner.
Taking breakfast. Nous prenons le petit déjeuner. Déjeuner. Nous prenons. So, okay, here's a nice correspondence. The French ending on matches Spanish mos in verbs. Decimos. Tomamos. They don't look too similar, but the vowel between M and S is dropped out for this tense in French, and the M matched the place of the S, which is dental. It assimilated.
Ce matin, je prends un café.
Ce matin, this morning I'm having a coffee. Ce matin, je prends un café. Not prends un. Even though it's the object, it's within the verb phrase. It's starting a new noun phrase.
Ils prennent un café.
Ils prennent un café. Ils prennent. I think the T in these third plural forms is never sounded. It never lands. Unless it's où sont-ils? Where are they? Ils prennent. They're having coffee. They take. Le gâteau.
Le gâteau.
What's the Spanish word for cake? Is there one with G? Cake is, what is it? It's on the tip of my tongue. I wish there was some cake on the tip of my tongue. It sounds like gato, the cat. No connection. Torta is a kind of sandwich, not a cake.
Le dîner.
Le dîner.
Je prépare le thé.
Preparing tea. Tu veux lire? Do you want to read? Non, je prépare le dîner. Yeah, la torta. Pastel! There it is, you got it. No connection to gato. Muchas gracias. Je prépare le dîner. Now here, Levi, this circumflex does not really show the loss of S. There was a J, a J sound in this in the older form for dinner. In fact, déjeuner, as in petit déjeuner, breakfast, is related to dîner.
Le déjeuner.
Hello, Richard. Welcome. Sometimes cake, good to know. What lands are you studying? Le déjeuner will be lunch, I think. So, related words for all three meals. Dîner, déjeuner.
Nous préparons le petit déjeuner.
We're preparing. The little lunch is breakfast.
Un déjeuner au restaurant.
Un déjeuner au restaurant.
Duo mange cette pizza.
Duo mange cette pizza. Is eating this pizza. Et le dessert? French, Spanish, Russian, Norwegian. Excellent.
Dessert.
Nous préparons un gâteau. That makes sense.
Gars. Gars.
Ils prennent un sandwich pour le déjeuner.
Ils mangent un gâteau.
Ils mangent un gâteau. They're eating a cake.
Je mange cette orange.
Je mange cette orange.
Un dîner au restaurant.
Un dîner au restaurant. A dinner at the O is a fusion. At an S, desayuno. Oh, that's true. Déjeuner. Very good eye, Levi. Yeah. And the jeûne is related to jejun, meaning originally hungry or wanting. It shifted its meaning in English, wanting, lacking. So déjeuner, desayuno is dehungerifying yourself, getting rid of the hunger, breaking the fast. Dinner at the restaurant.
Tu manges cette salade.
Eating this salad. Tu manges cette salade. Vaguely threatening aura here. I'm making lunch. Je prépare le déjeuner. Spanish, yeah, actual class. 2 in high school, early college, and on the college side, a Spanish class. Excellent. You said Russian and Norwegian as well. I think I'd like to do a bit of Norwegian after this one. It's a nice, fun language. So far, not too intimidating on the grammar side. We are making nous. Préparons une féminine pizza. Voilà. Norsk. Where are you? There we go. Wow, I'm impressed with how far I've gotten here. Hobby.
En TV.
TV.
En film.
En film.
En hobby.
Hobby. Now that characteristic tonal upstep to the weak syllable. Hobby.
En film.
En film.
Denne filmen er fantastisk.
Denne filmen fantastisk. Me too. Denne filmen will be this.
Denne.
Yeah, and it's definite, not plural. This movie. Is the verb to be for all 6 persons. Fantastisk. We have the old sk suffix of Germanic. Fantastic. But it's on a borrowed word from Greek.
Filmen er om et berømt band.
Berømt band. Filmen om et berømt band. Filmen om et berømt band. It's about the famous band. A famous band. Neuter. Berømt.
Berømt et.
T here.
Berømt.
Here show us that it's a neuter noun.
Filmen er om et berømt band.
And like German. Berømt, you'll recognize Levi. TV.
En TV.
TV. T, low, mid. En TV.
Det er en fantastisk hobby.
That or it is a fantastic hobby.
Naboene er på besøk.
Naboene på besøk. Someone, I think, right?
Naboene.
The neighbors, plural definite. The near livers, just like our word. The nearby dwellers are upon visit is the meaning. Visiting. All 6 persons, all 6 people, indeed, yeah. Good eye.
Jeg har viktig besøk.
Okay, besøk. No agreement marking on viktig. Yeah, grammatical people. Doesn't have the right ring, does it? Going to head to bed. Yeah, it is getting late. So glad you could join us, finally. To eat again soon. Excellent night. Yep. Thank you, you too. I watched Twitch streamer Nick and Malena, NMPL, spoke Norwegian, tried to figure out what she was saying, and I just enjoyed the language. She would get mad or annoyed she spoke in Norwegian. Oh, okay. Very interesting. Nick, so do they stream together, or are these 2 separate streamers?
Jeg har viktig besøk.
Viktig, the G is suppressed. Jeg har viktig besøk. Important visitors. I have important visit. I wonder if that's a person noun, or if it means the act of visiting.
Pappa hviler på sengen.
Hviler, dad stays in bed, I think. Upon the bed. Hviler is related to our word while, I believe. Is resting. Okay, resting. And then on the bed, a full phrase.
Dette er bare hobbyen min.
Dette er bare hobbyen min. This is just my hobby.
Nei, jeg hviler.
Nei. NEJ?
Nei, jeg hviler.
No, I'm resting.
Nei, jeg hviler.
Nei, jeg hviler.
Det en katt hos oss.
I love this hus. It comes from the noun house, but it's a preposition meaning at someone's place. There is a cat at our house, yeah. Couple, okay. TwitchCon in Berlin. How romantic. So it is a cat. There is a cat at our place. At our house.
TV-en deres kjempestor.
TV:n deres kjempestor. Stor means big, I think. Your TV?
Deres.
There or your plural. Look just like German.
Kjempestor.
Intensive big.
Kjempestor.
I wonder what it means on its own. Note the weakening of the K when the yod is there. Kjempe. Oh, looks like I've looked this up before. Giant. Kempa. And no further etymology given here. Your TV or your TV is huge. Huge.
Jenta hviler hjemme.
Jenta. A girl stays at home. Is resting at home. Jenta hviler hjemme.
Hvorfor tegner vi frukt?
Tegner. Why do we something fruit?
Tegner.
Okay, Levi, can you spot the German cognate of this verb to draw? Why are we drawing fruit? Tegner.
Jeg tegner et eple.
Jeg tegner et eple.
Han tegner 6 dyr.
He's drawing 6 animals. Han tegner 6 dyr. 6 animals. Dyr.
Har dere en gjest hjemme hos dere?
Do they have en gjest? Gjest hjemme hos dere? Do you have a house guest at your place? Har dere en gjest hjemme hos dere? Dere? Do you have a guest at home with you? Now, I wonder what the structure is here.
Dere har.
Gjest hjemme. I guess that's a locative, at home. Do you have a guest at home with you? Yes, I believe it is. Zeichnen. Very good. The T to tse, and the fricative ch to a voiced one in Norwegian. You have a guest at home with you. With you at your place. Hos dere.
Hvem dere på besøk hos?
Hvem dere på besøk hos? Wow. Who is so much Norwegian stream kunt? Accent is really strong, and I've been able to learn and get some accent for speaking Norwegian. Cool. Very nice. Streamer name. Twitch seems like a good resource for sort of picking up that thing then. That kind of thing. Hvem dere på besøk hos? I don't really get the meaning of this. Hvem dere på besøk hos? Whom are you visiting? Is that just a stranded preposition at the end? Token, that's right. Bezeichnen, to be token. Old English, taken, where it was teiknum or something in the common proto-language. Hvem dere på besøk hos? So what is that preposition doing at the end? Whom are you visiting? Dere, who are you to upon visit at the house of? The house of whom? I think it does the same stranding thing that English does.
Hvor kommer TV-en din fra?
TV:n? Where does your TV come from? Hvor kommer TV:n din fra? There it is again, the stranded preposition. Fra, they really form a phrase together, but on opposite ends of the sentence.
Pappa hviler på sengen.
Dad is resting on the bed. Excellent. Nice little interlude. Interludevisk. Let's do just a couple more and then call it a night. Richard, do you stream yourself? Do you yourself stream?
La salade est prête. Paul prépare le dîner.
Paul prépare le dîner.
La pizza est prête?
Is the pizza ready? La pizza est prête.
Le déjeuner est prêt.
Lunch is ready.
Je mange mon repas.
I'm eating my meal. Je suis à la maison. Très bien, le repas est prêt. Twitch Frog. Maybe one day. Well, I'm glad you've decided to join us for a bit.
Tu prépares le dîner.
We're making the dinner.
C'est pizza.
C'est pizza. Those or these pizzas.
Tu prépares le café?
Tu prépares le café. Are you preparing the coffee? Tu prépares une salade. Elle est prête. She is ready. She the salad. Les filles, le petit déjeuner est prêt.
C'est.
It's time for sleep, Duolingo. Yeah. Cool. C'est will be like.
C'est.
Aujourd'hui, il prépare le dîner.
Paul prépare le repas.
On makes the meal. Tu vas en vie. C'est pizza. That's true. I think they are perfectly homophonous. Tu vas en vie? Non, le repas est prêt. No, the meal is ready. These oranges, c'est plural, orange, singular, set. Let's see. When you were making that connection between languages, how did you learn, or does one learn that information? Years of study. I was very blessed in my upbringing. My dad was in the army, and I started school in the Netherlands, learning and reading Dutch. And then I lived in Germany for 10 years, where without having to pay for any instruction, I got to learn French and Latin, a smidgen of Swedish. I didn't really take many languages in college, a few ancient ones, but it's been a long-standing interest of mine all throughout my life. The ones I know best, of course, are German, French, European languages generally. My Dutch was long forgotten, but it's pretty close to German. My major in college was linguistics. Levi and I both have master's degrees in linguistics. It's just something that we think about a lot. But it helps to, let's see, what your question is, how did you learn? How does one learn that information? Aside from language study, it's good to know like the principles of linguistics as far as phonetics, word structure, and sentence structure. So if you just get an intro book on linguistics, you could pick up quite a lot of useful stuff there. But also, please subscribe to this channel where I do nothing but talk about these connections and how language is built up. What I'm doing basically is trying to share some of the knowledge that I've been able to accumulate in my day. So this is going to be ces repas, the same form as the singular noun. Parfait. All right. Cap it off tonight. I think let's do an Esperanto. How about you, Levi? Care to answer Richard's question with your own autobiographical spin?
Ĉu vi flaras la fragojn?
What?
Ĉu vi flaras la fragojn?
Fragoin. Okay. Don't know which word this is. Do you smell flaras? La fragoin. The strawberries. Juice is not food. Oh, I should mention that I also... Yeah, did I mention Latin? I guess I did. But knowing Latin really helps you connect what's going on in European languages, especially the Romance ones. But we have a lot of Latin words in English and German and all the rest. Doesn't hurt to study ancient Greek for that too. Get a lot of important words and grammatical structure that way. Juice is not food but a drink. Oh boy. Suko ne estas. Okay, food. Mangiajo. Sed trincajo. It's not eatage but drinkage.
Mi ŝatas la tason de la knabo.
Mi ŝatas la tason, I think.
Mi ŝatas la tason de la knabo.
De la knabo. Like the boy's cup, la taso. Do you have a menu in Esperanto? Ĉu, I suppose there could be somewhere. Ĉu vi havas? I wonder where. Menun? Menuon. It's got to have an O. Menuon en Esperanto.
Unu kilogramo da pano estas multe.
1 kilogramo da pano estas multe. Kilogram of bread is a lot. Unu.
Ili multe ŝatas pastaĵojn.
Pasta. They like pasta a lot. Seems Levi has dipped out.
Ĉu estas kafo aŭ teo en via taso?
Ĉu estas kafo aŭ
Ĉu estas kafo aŭ teo en via taso?
en via taso? Is there coffee or tea in your cup?
Li miksas la oleon kun spicoj.
Li mixas
Li miksas la oleon kun spicoj.
oleon kun spicoj.
Li miksas la oleon kun spicoj.
Oh, spices. He mixes the oil with spices. Levi says, I think it takes practice, and the more you become familiar with certain vocabulary, the kinds of sound changes, that's right. It's a good clue. That do occur, and you can kind of predict it. Definitely knowing ancient forms like Latin, Greek, Sanskrit helps draw predictions. Wiktionary has been a pretty good resource for individual words. Very true, yes, good idea. The mother of all dictionaries online. All the big standard languages are here. Okay. That's good, glad to know. It'll help you make the connections, sometimes hard to spot ones, between related words in different languages or even related words within a single language. Yeah, spending a lot of time with the dictionary, something I've done a lot of, and it's been really helpful. Reading grammars are good too, but spent more time learning words, I suppose. And I like to figure out the grammar rules on my own more than just looking them up. It's kind of boring.
Mi povas flari la oranĝojn?
But for that, like I mentioned, it's really good to have a sort of general linguistic framework to know what kinds of things are out there. Mi povas flari la oranĝojn. I can smell the oranges.
Mi volas la recepton, ĉar mi tre ŝatas vian kukon.
Ĉar mi tre ŝatas kukon. I want the recipe because I really like cake. Vian kukon. I like your cake.
Ĉu vi povas kuiri pastaĵojn?
Can you cook pasta? 1 kilogram. Kilogramo da pano estas multe. Flare, good question. Flari. Any guesses? Could be flagrant, but does it have anything to do with smelling? Latin, flu, means what? To blow, to breathe. This doesn't tell us the derivation, but it might be from this Latin verb of breathing, which we have in the lovely English derivative flatulence. To flatulate, does that exist? Conflate, which we talked about in Italian a few weeks back. We have some flate derivatives. That seems to be it. This one was oleo. That's for oil.
Jen nigra kafo en blua taso.
Yen, there is.
Jen.
Jen nigra kafo en blua taso.
En blue.
En blua.
There is black coffee in a blue cup.
Kiu havas la menuojn?
Is that who?
Kiu.
Who or which? Who has the menus?
Kiel odoras la pizzo?
Kiel odoras.
Kiel
How does it smell?
la
Pizzo.
Who has? Kiu havas. La menu plural object oin.
Suko ne estas manĝaĵo, sed trinkaĵo.
Juice is not food, but a drink.
liaj receptoj gustas bone.
Their recipes. Oh, Levi, do you know what this word recipe is? Where it comes from and what kind of a form it is? Gustas, tastes. Adverbial, good, but we won't say it tastes well. Okay, liai is his. That makes sense. Lin, lia. Flatulate, back formation, attested since the 19th century. Way to go, 19th century.
La butero ne odoras bone.
La butero ne odoras bone. Doesn't smell good.
Mi volas la recepton, ĉar mi tre ŝatas vian kukon.
Char.
Mi volas la recepton, ĉar mi tre ŝatas vian kukon.
Vian kukon. I really like your cake.
Liaj receptoj gustas bone.
His recipes taste good. Right, I think we crushed it again today. This recipe. Imperative singular, so it's an inflected verb. Finite or non-finite, don't know. Anyway, it's a verb form that is taken into English as a noun, like affidavit and ignoramus. What's another one? Not subpoena, that's a noun. Or that's a prepositional phrase, rather. All right, everyone, thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Whenever you watch this, come and visit us again. 안녕히 계세요.